Right then folks, Greeno here. Where am I today? Well, I've come down the south coast. I've headed east from Dorset and I'm in Brighton, right by the seaside again. I can hear seagulls around, but I'm planning to eat indoors today, so I don't need to worry about them too much. So where have I come then? You can see above me here, it says Permit Rooms. Now this is an offshoot of Dishoom, which is a sort of Bombay cafe kind of style restaurant. A few branches around the country. I ate at one in Canary Wharf in London not that long ago. When was it? Just before Christmas. Had a really interesting kind of breakfast there. I'm here for lunch today and I got a good looking menu here. Lots of kind of little small plates, interesting kind of little snacky bits, and a few bigger plates as well. So yeah, lots of different things to try. We'll see what I fancy when I get in there. But come on, it's a little bit parky. Let's get inside and get some grub in us. Well then folks, so I've come in and I have been seated, and I've got to say, this place is a really cool little joint, really funky. There's music on in the background, it's quite loud. I'm going to try and filter that out for you. But the design of it is really, really cool. We've got a menu here, really extensive menu. There's all sorts of stuff on here. We've got some little snacky kind of things like beer snacks, some little charts and salads, some savouries on here, which are like samosas and that kind of thing. Then there's curries, biryanis, some sides and some breads and whatever. So kind of like a mix between a curry house and Indian street food. Lots of good interesting things to choose from. On the back of this menu is a list of drinks, loads and loads of different cocktails on there, some interesting kind of soft drinks too. And there are actually a few extra little things, wine list and whatever, on a separate bit of paper. So lots and lots to choose from in here. It's pretty busy. I'm here on a midweek lunchtime and there's a lot of people around. So they're obviously really popular. And I can see why, looking at this menu. It's really interesting kind of food. So I'm going to get myself some food ordered, get myself a drink ordered, and then we'll come back and talk about what I got. I'd like to try from the savouries menu a couple of things. Can I take the spicy chicken puff? And I'll take the lamb samosas as well, please. And then can I take the half of the tandoori chicken and cheese naan to go with it?
Cheese naan's the best.
Gotta be, isn't it? Gotta be.
Cheese naan. Anything else at the moment, or are you happy to start with that and get some?
No, that is, yeah, I think that will do me. Nice one. Thank you very much. Excellent. Thanks for your help. So let's talk a little bit about this place and about what I've ordered. So I've checked this place out online. It has a Google review of 4.9. So, you know, I've been going to some places which have got bad Google reviews. This has got just about as good as you can get, and that's from over 2,500 reviews. So I'm expecting something good. So my order, we went for the spicy chicken puff, didn't we? An Irani bakery favourite pastry puff with a hearty filling of Kerala pepper fried chicken. It's warm and spicy. We like spicy, don't we? And also the lamb samosas. Now, we all know what lamb samosas are. This is a golden Gujarati phyllo stuffed with minced lamb, onions and spices with a bit of lime for some tang in there. For the main kind of dish, there is a permit room special. So I've gone for a half of tandoori chicken. That is grilled and served with fresh kachumba, tangy green chutney and a charred lemon to squeeze over the top. That sounds delicious. And a cheese naan to go with it. You know me and cheese. Okay then folks, so my little startery things have turned up and they look really, really pretty. We've got 3 lamb samosas here on a tray with interesting looking green kind of chutney. I don't know if that's coriander or chili or something like that. We have this chicken puff thing, and that's got like a red looking sauce. I'm sure that's going to have some chili in there. And we got the beer. So this is the rhubarb and fig little can of beer. That is very nice actually. It's kind of got that sourness of rhubarb in there, which I really like. As you know, big fan of rhubarb here. So these samosas, let's have a little look at these. Perfectly triangular. Really nice colour to the outside of the pastry there where they've been fried. They just look and smell inviting. That has got a really nice crunch to the outside. The filling inside there you can see is nice and dark. That lamb mince. There's a lot of spice in there. Really kind of peppery. Some chilli in there. God, it's an intense, intense flavour, it really is. Phyllo pastry, so the outer kind of layers get really, really crispy. The inner layers still retain a touch of softness, but that filling is incredible. Come on, I mean it's pretty fierce. It is pretty fierce. A lot of places you get samosas and they're kind of filled with more veggies and whatever, and you get the curry flavour, but there's almost a sweetness to them. This is just an intense, fiery taste. Right, let's try this chutney now. That actually really tones down that peppery spice. There's coriander in there, there's garlic in there. That is really, really, really clever. There's a freshness to that dip. It kind of alleviates some of the sort of denser, heavier flavours. It's great on its own, don't get me wrong, but with the chutney, it's even better. Swap these around now. We'll come to this puff. It kind of looks like a Greggs sausage roll, doesn't it? But it's not. So let me cut this one open and we'll take a look inside. I like the presentation on these too. Just on these little silver trays, served on a little bit of banana leaf. So inside here, we have the spiced chicken, you can see in there. It's nicely filled. And again, a good aroma to it. Not quite as punchy as the samosa, I don't think. Much more delicate spicing in that. The chicken there was lovely and moist. The pastry, it's kind of like just a really good flaky kind of pastry. Puff pastry. Oh, let's get it into this sauce as well. Let's say the samosas were improved by the sauce. Let's hope this is the same here. That comes and bites you after the first little mouthful. Wow! It starts out really quite sweet. You've kind of got a sugary tamarind kind of flavour in there, and then boom, the chilli comes in, and it doesn't muck about. It's a Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson of chilies. Really gives you a good smack round the chops. Oh, here we go. Sweetness, sweetness, chili. That's really good. I can imagine that working with the samosas too. God, I tell you what, just for little street foodie, picky kind of things. How good are they? How good are they? The main course of the chicken and the cheese naan has arrived. It looks really quite appealing to me. We've got a half a chicken here, cooked in the tandoor oven. You've got the lemon which has been charred here so that I can squeeze that over the top. You've got this little kachumba kind of thing going on here. It's basically just a little mixed salad. And another green chutney here. But it's different to the other one. This has got a minty kind of aroma. Now, Greeno being Greeno, pretty smart. When they came to clear the startery dishes, I held on to those sauces because I want to see which one of them goes best with this chicken. I've also got the cheese naan here, which is interesting. It's served in a little bread tin. But obviously it's not cooked in one, is it? It's just stuck to the wall of the tandoor oven. So, little slurp of beer. Let's get that out of the way for now. and concentrate on the food, shall we? The star of the show is going to be this chicken, isn't it? We'll get a little bit of this lemon squeezed over the top. You can see there. Squeeze it out very nicely. Some of that can go over the salad too. There we go. We'll move that out of the way as well. And we're going to check this chicken. So come in and have a little closer look as I cut this chicken open. So let's see how this chicken is cooked, shall we? We'll cut into the breast here. It's cutting very easily, very nicely. And it looks nice and moist inside. The leg meat, again, should be nice and moist. Got a little drumstick here, we've got the thigh. Yeah, all looks good. Right, back out to a wider shot and I'll get some of it in me gob. Right, I've got those other two sauces lined up, but we'll try everything first with the main one that comes here. But before we get into those sauces, I'm just going to try the chicken meat by itself. That is nice. Very tender. The tandoori spice on the outside. It's not an aggressive spice, is it? Very, very flavoursome though. Very flavoursome. And you can see how that is on the outside of the chicken there. Breast meat can dry out quite easily, can't it? This hasn't. That is very, very nice. God. And that sort of burnt charring to the yogurty tandoori marinade on there. That really works. Right, I'm going to try this dip here. That's like first impressions. It's a kind of like a minty thing, but not like a yogurty minty thing. More like just blended up mint. Oh, that's a riot of flavour as well. I tell you what, you can't knock them for the sauces then they're banging out here. They are intense. Really kind of vibrant green colour to it here. A real fresh herbiness, bit of lemon. Wow. That is really, really popping off in your mouth. You've got the delicate flavours of the tandoori marinade, the punchy flavour of that. It just works. It just works. So let's try this little salady element. And so we've got some tomato here, cucumber, a bit of red onion, and what looks like some more coriander over the top of that. Very nice and fresh. And of course that helps cut through some of the punchy flavours that are here on this plate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this chicken with some of the other sauces that were left over from the starters. So I'm going to go in with the one that was with the samosas first, that kind of coriander chutney. Not bad, but it's not as good as this is with it, the minty one. Let's grab a bit more of this chicken meat off, and we'll get into that chili one that we had with the spicy chicken puff. Oh yeah, that really does work actually. If you remember, I said it was like sweet at the start, and then a big punch of chili comes. Well, the sweetness, along with the sweetness of that tandoori marinade, really works. And then again, boom, it comes in with that chili. Oh, that's really good. I do think this green one here, the minty kind of one, is probably the best of the three. It just has a really nice freshness to everything. I like it. Let's get onto this cheesy naan. So here we go. Nice cookery there to the outside of the naan, you can see. All these little charred, gnarly bits are a real flavour, aren't they? You can see here where it's been stuck onto the wall of the tandoor. And then inside is where we're going to find all that cheese and a bit of coriander. Maybe a bit of chilli too. That's just so good. There is a little bit of chilli in there. It's quite a, I think it's just a cheddar cheese, but quite a good one. And that kind of burnt bread. Not burnt in a bad way, burnt in a very good way. It was like the best cheese toaster you've ever had. And every now and again, they've got fresh chilies in there. And you get a little bite on one of them. It's sweet, it's fiery. Oh, that's immense. I am a very, very happy boy with all this food. Right then, folks, I've come down to the seafront here. You can see Brighton's Palace Pier here behind me. Do you know what? I really enjoyed that lunch. Literally 2-3 minutes walk off the seafront here, up into the lanes, as if you're going towards the pavilion. Really, really impressed. Really impressed. The thing that really stood out to me was the quality of those sauces. I absolutely loved all three of them. Very different flavour profiles. All of them exceptional. Let's go through what I had, shall we? We'll use the receipt as we're talking through it. So I started off with that beer, the Earth Ale, sort of rhubarb and fig leaf. Now, I enjoyed that, but £6.90 for a can of beer, that's too much. That is too much. That is punchy, isn't it? The spicy chicken puff, the thing that kind of looked like a Greggs sausage roll. You're a noisy so-and-so, aren't you? Can't you see I'm talking? Keep it down. Right, spicy chicken puff, £4.90. The flavour in there was great. The chicken was nice and moist. The pastry, perfectly crispy. Lovely. And the dipping sauce with that, the red kind of sweet, then chilli sauce, that was banging. Lamb samosas, 3 pieces of that with the kind of like the coriander chutney, £7.50. Again, possibly a touch on the punchy side for samosas, but by gosh, they were good. They really were good. Again, the pastry on the outside, perfectly cooked. The filling inside, deep and rich and punchy. Really tasty. And that little coriander chutney just kind of took things down a little bit. Clever combination. Right, the chicken. Half a tandoori chicken, £13.90. Now again, you can argue that's a little bit punchy because that's pretty much all it was. A little bit of salad, pot of sauce and the chicken. Oh, and half a grilled lemon. Yeah, that could possibly be £1 or £2 cheaper, I think. But again, the flavours were great. The tandoori marinade, then put in the oven so it kind of burns up a little bit. You get the caramelisation, the sort of sweetish, chilli, yogurty flavours on there. And the chicken meat was cooked beautifully. Really, really tender. I had the cheese naan with that. That was £4.90 as well. That was ace. I think out of the, if I was to pick from the 4 food items, that is probably my favourite thing. Just like a really, really good cheese toasty. Nice cheese in the middle, coriander, fresh chilli in there, and the naan was cooked beautifully. Lovely kind of charring on the outside of it. Really enjoyable. So, in total, £38.10. Now, I suppose I've kind of had 2 starters in a way, haven't I, with the little sausage roll thing. That wasn't a sausage roll. And the samosas. So, I mean, maybe you're looking at £30 or something for your main, for a drink, for a starter. Which, yeah, I think, yeah, possibly it is a touch much, isn't it? A little bit much. The service at the start of the video was really good. My waitress, she was fun, she was bubbly, really helpful. Once the food started to arrive though, there was no check back from anyone, only when they were clearing plates. So that's a slight problem, but I really liked it. I've got to come up with a score now. And I'm going to be, not harsh, but I am going to take a couple of things into account. I am going to take into account the cost of that beer. I think that's too much. And I am going to take into account the fact there was no check back at the table. Food great though. It's a 4.5 out of 5 from me. 4.5 out of 5, no problem at all. Does it get Greeno's green light? Absolutely. Absolutely. I enjoyed my breakfast at Dishoom up in London. I think I enjoyed this more. I really do. The flavours and the cookery on things, just great. Okay then folks, so It's not as good as the beaches down in Dorset, is it? No sand here. Come on, Brighton. It's just pebbles, rubbish. Anyway, at least I can hear those seagulls creeping up on me on these stones. But if you enjoyed this video, why not consider clicking a thumbs up on there for me? It does help the channel. And if you're new around here and you've enjoyed this, why not take a little look through the vault, see what else you enjoy. And if you do enjoy some of the content, please consider subscribing, ding your bell for notifications, and YouTube will tell you when I upload new videos. You know us YouTubers love all that sort of stuff. Right, what's next then? It's a bit cold for a dip, I'll tell you that much. So you'll have to find out in the next video anyway. I'll see you then. Bye for now.